Good morning. Welcome to Good Morning Anambra. My name is Sijama Uche. It's good to be here. Thank you for joining us. We'll have a lot of programs that we have lined up for your viewing pleasure this morning, but we are taking off with a newspaper review this morning. And joining me this morning to look at what the papers are saying is Mr. Jerry Obodo. Sir Jerry Obodo, actually. Sir Jerry, you're welcome.
Thank you very much for having me, Anambra. Good morning to you all and be with us.
Okay, welcome again. Okay, let's begin from the beginning as usual. And that's from the ABS website. We'll have the stories that say, Soludo states resolved to work with stakeholders to end insecurity, violent crimes in Anambra. And then Anambra Police Commander arrests 32 suspects for armed robbery, extortion, others. Mrs. Soludo appeals to Anambra women to sustain prayer for state. Churches in Oka and environs join in commemorating Palm Sunday with special services. And finally, from the ABS website, we'll have NAPTIP 6 collaboration with judiciary in fight against human trafficking. These more are the stories to get from the ABS website. And if you want to get more, you join us in ABS Radio TV. Okay, now let's start looking at these ones, and let's see the ones we are actually going to look at properly. Soludo restores resolve to work with stakeholders to end insecurity, violent crimes in Anambra State. Recently, you have seen how hard the governor has been working, trying to put our state the way it should be security-wise. So what do you have to say about this?
Yeah, I really commend the governor for, taking the bull by the horn. Since he came in, it has been a walk and let's talk situation. He has, convoked stakeholders security summit there at the Professor Dora late Development Center, and a lot of issues were trashed out, and all the stakeholders gave their own ideas and profiled solutions on how to approach the insecurity. Also recently, the governor also set up a Truce and Peace and Conflict Commission, the kind that was set up by late statesman Nelson Mandela of South Africa when he came into power. So, and this affords the aggrieved persons to, come up with, the reasons why, they are, causing some insecurity and violent problems in the state. And, they could be accommodated. The governor said, some of them that are aggrieved could be rehabilitated, so that we have less problems. Mm-hmm. And he's working towards also, because part of the problems is unemployment. The governor is working towards attracting, industries in the state, manufacturers, estate developers. I saw him some time ago with, Big Cubana, and, he was wooing him to bring in his, some of his companies, investment, and attract his friends also here.
Okay. We're supposed to join this story with Anambra Police Commander arrest 32 suspects. But we are going to take a break, just a very short break. Don't get away.
Great news for Anambra Broadcasting Service ABS audience. You can now watch ABS television through any of these ways.
Buy a terrestrial antenna and connect to your television. Search ABS Channel 24 Oka or ABS Channel 27 Onitsha. Install StarTimes cable decoder and search ABS Channel 113. Install Metro Digital cable decoder and search ABS Channel 29.
Watch ABS TV on your smart TV or smartphone by downloading Anambra Broadcasting Service app on Google Play Store. Also watch via ABS Facebook page at ABS Radio Television and ABS YouTube page at ABS Television Oka.
ABS TV is now also on satellite. You can watch us from anywhere in Nigeria and other African countries. Simply install our TV decoder brand and tune to channel 315 or install any free-to-air satellite decoder and search for ABS TV.
Whichever option you choose, stay abreast of breaking news, documentaries, children's shows, talk shows, comedy, sports, movies, and lots more on your darling TV station.
For adverts and program sponsorship, contact 0803-388-8526 or 0806-883-9902.
ABS, Heartbeat of the East.
This is Anambra.
Okay, good to have you back. Still good morning, Anambra. Monday edition, and join us in the studio to look at what the papers are saying this morning is Abuchi Onwumelu. Abuchi Onwumelu is a public affairs analyst. Good morning, Abuchi.
Good morning, Anambra. Thank you, IJ.
Okay, before you came in, we were looking at the stories that are making the round from our website, and the next story we want to look at here before we move over to the national dailies is Anambra Police Commander arrests 32 suspects for armed robbery, extortion, and others. You very much know that recently our state came under attack as the governor said that 85% of the criminals who were arrested in the state recently from a particular state, while the remaining 25% is from, or 15% is from other states, and none of them is from Anambra State. And then a lot of people started talking why this, let's call it state profiling. So, but the fact remains that you cannot stay in your house and allow strangers to come and set it ablaze. So what do you have to say about this, Abuchi?
Yeah, so far the actions being taken by the governor is up and timely. We cannot fold our hands and allow visitors to come and dictate for us. This is not who we are. We are not known for killings. Just like what the governor said yesterday during the Palm Sunday Mass. He said that the Anambra, that is his own duty to ensure that every Anambra person sleeps with two eyes closed, and I believe him. And he equally asks us that in no time that sanity will be restored. So those carrying out this dastardly act are truly not from Anambra State, because the governor has spelled it out. He told us that they got a ledger from them where they named all the people. There is, in fact, their major aim is to rob, kidnap, and do all sorts of things in Anambra State. So, and this goes a long way to tell you that we are in for a serious fight. So it is the collective responsibility of every Onyanambra to come out and join the governor in his onerous task of giving us a secured and livable place.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, let's now venture into the newspapers and then see what the stories that are making the rounds there. The first paper this morning is the National Star, and I have this story on the front page. which says 14 killed in Kaduna violence cause, slain in 3 plateau communities. Okay, for want of time, we'll have to run. Let me look at Daily Independence again before we'll talk on this. Okay. The Daily Independent is an newspaper this morning, and the banner headline there said, falling oil production theft compound Nigeria's fox woes. And down here I have this one that said, federal government to reserve Lagos, Abuja international airports for new national carrier. Okay, Mr. Jerry, what is your take on, about Sir Jerry, please? What is your take on that? Some of the stories before we look at other ones.
Yeah, you know, the insecurity has been a recurring decimal. It's still it looks very insurmountable still to the federal government because of the approach they are adopting. We have said that you know, the war should be taken to the you know, the bandits or terrorists, and not you know, pancaking them you know, with you know, through their contact man, so that empowers them to buy equipment, you know, and ammunitions to, you know, fight back. So we think that the federal government is not doing enough to tackle the insecurity in, you know, in the country, especially in the north, and we are very concerned about the situation, especially in Kaduna, where you have the concentration of the Christians at Kaduna, southern Kaduna, and it keeps coming. So you ask why this southern Kaduna all the time. So
why southern Kaduna all the time? And recently we heard the governor El-Rufai saying that he's going to ask for mercenaries to help him fight insecurity in Kaduna State. I think some people started talking, asking him, why mercenary? What about, I'm coming to you, Abuchi. What about Nigerian Army? Will you say that they have been overrun?
Hope in them.
You know?
That's a good question.
Oh, yes.
So they truly, El-Rufai should, I would just tell him, good morning, El-Rufai. When we're clamoring for a secured Kaduna, for his political reasons or political ambition, he failed to understand that people are being maimed and killed on a daily basis. I remember this same southern Kaduna, a lot of people, the bandits or the Fulani herdsmen came in and slaughtered over 100 and something people, burnt their houses and all that. And when they called for the head of those culprits, what did the El-Rufai say? He gave them protection. Even when the Christian part of the Kaduna tried to go revenge or go for a reprisal attack, he brought out the Nigerian Army, the same army he used to wage war against the Christian part of Kaduna. So today he's asking for external mercenary. I think he's not really telling himself the truth. So the same people he has been using to encourage the killings, or rather the maiming and maiming of innocent citizens of southern Kaduna, he should use that same people and do the needful. So he shouldn't come here and tell us about mercenaries. We are not interested in that.
Okay, we move on. Okay, we move on. Okay, briefly. All right.
The issue of mercenaries, some school of thought are of the opinion that they are the people that are terrorizing the country now, because they were imported by the current federal government before the election to make the country ungovernable should they fail to win. And when they won, these guys were here and they were not taken care of. That's why we have this problem. So there's no point for the governor to be mentioning the mercenary, because they will compound the situation more.
They will compound the situation more. Okay, that's exactly what we pray that shouldn't happen in this country, because I think we'll have enough problems in our hands. New Telegraph is our next paper this morning, and the banner headline there said, APC risks no candidates in PDP-controlled states, no candidates in parentheses. APC risks no candidates in PDP-controlled states. And then we'll have another story down there that said, no new ideas to deal with insecurity. General Ishola Williams is saying that there's no new ideas to deal with insecurity, and I wonder what he wants us to do. Okay, Punch. It's the next paper this morning. Let's join the stories. Okay, I don't even, the Punch is not yet here. So let's move on. PDP, recently some people are saying, how can, considering what happened in 2014, 2015, the kind of run that the APC gave PDP while they were in government, would you consider PDP as a good opposition party, Sajeri?
Yeah, you know, they are doing their best, you know, but their best is still not very good enough. They are opposition, but they are not still very articulate with the problem of the country, which is supposed to be, you know, brandishing before the public, where the federal government is not doing well, so that people will see from there and know that they are strong opposition. You know, if we start listing the inadequacies in the country, you know, you marvel. Okay, for instance,
opposition. Do you see what they're doing as enough to wrestle power out of APC?
That's what I'm saying. They are not. They should be, you know, letting the people know the inadequacies in the country. The reason why they should take the power in the next dispensation. You know, I have not seen how serious they are in terms of, you know, wrestling the power from them. You know, they seem to be just on personality issues and clashes here and there.
Okay, perhaps that's why they may likely not have candidates in some of their states. Okay, let's move on now. Tribune is our next paper this morning. And on the front page of Tribune, we'll have the screaming headline that says 2023, Osibanjo informs APC governors of bid for presidency. 2023, Osibanjo informs APC governors of bid for presidency. He has a rider there, set to declare publicly today via social media platforms. And then on top of that story, we have zoning, why PDP is in dilemma. The same story of PDP not getting their acts together to make sure that they have candidates in at least the states they control. Okay. After a Tribune, we look at the Daily Sun. Okay, the Daily Sun newspaper this morning. Beside the name template of the Daily Sun, we'll have the story that says, Free Nnamdi Kanu, Ohaneze appeals to Buhari. Free Nnamdi Kanu, Ohaneze appeals to Buhari. And then with these two riders here, to make opposition on 2023 presidency known. Another rider said, Uzodimma Ndibo has cried enough in Nigeria. Okay, that's beside the name template of the Daily Sun, but the banner headline here says, Opera over sale of Union Bank. Okay, it's on top of the banner headline. And 2023, Buhari's minister under pressure to resign. Who are the ministers? Malami Ngige, Sirika, Onu Amechi, others in dilemma over political ambition. And down here I have a 2023 presidency. Osibanjo missed APC governors ahead of declaration. Okay, let's look at Osibanjo's declaration, because recently, before now, people were clamoring, is he coming out or not? And now he has spoken to the governors, the APC governors, and saying that he's going to declare through the social media platforms today. Abichi Onwumelo.
Yes, I just have to say thumbs down to the vice president. Why will I say that? Because it is obvious that we are just not giving to equity in this country. Yeah, as a professor and a pastor, you should know the meaning of equity, fairness, and justice. What do I mean? It's obvious that since the post return of democracy in 1999, all the zones, all the known zones in this country have tested. They have all tested power, starting from the time of Obasanjo to Yaradua to...
Are you saying that he should step down for your region to take over?
What I'm saying is that I know power is not a given, but what I'm saying is that you should understand, you should join the call in calling for a Southeasterner to be the president of this country. That is what we're expecting from him. He's a refined gentleman, a professor of law. He should know better. It's not just about being ambitious. It's good to be ambitious, but at least you should understand that equity and fairness will help in dancing the tensions that is all over the country. So let the Southeasterners, this time around, I'm not talking about Ndibu, we are narrowing it down to southeastern part of the country. We should produce the president. That is what equity is all about.
Okay, when you say joining the call, are you talking about Atiku Abubakar's declaration that if PDP zone their presidency to the southeast, that he's going to resign from contesting? Do you mean, is that what you mean by the call?
In fact, all the two elder statesmen should just resign and forget about their ambition and support the southeast. It is our turn. Then in APC, we have the likes of Ngige who are actually doing very well. So if they can give him that ticket, then in PDP, we have a lot of our sons who are equally doing very, very well in that regard. So what I'm saying is that the articles of this world, the Osibanjos of this world, should please rescind their decision and allow Southeasterner to be the candidates of these two major political parties.
Okay, and I hope the Southeasterners are working very hard to take over from the Northerners, because you don't just stay home and start clamoring that you want power. You have to work for it. Okay, before we are running short of time, so let's look at this other story. Free Nnamdi Kanu Ohanaeze appeals to Buhari, Sajeri. Is it enough? Is appeal not enough? Do you think people are doing enough to see that this young man is freed from detention?
Yeah, you know, well, it's on two sides. There's two sides to this story. One is going through the court process, and another one is based on humanitarian ground. So we are on court process, but my worry is that there was a lot of delays in bringing the man to court. With constant pressure and all that, they started bringing him. And you know, the court system, adjournments here and there, you know, now we have seen the last, ruling by court. 15 charges was brought against him, and 8 was struck out. That tells you where he's heading to. Then the next adjourned date will be a bail request determination. So if the lawyers of Nnamdi Kanu, you know, convinces the court for his bail, he'll be bailed and he will be released out of the DSS detention.
Okay, thank you very much.
That's the one way. But also, appeal to the president is the humanitarian angle. So we think that you should allow the man. And do you see,
after the appeal, do you see the presidency releasing him?
I think he's not, in a good, state to release him.
All right, so. Thank you very much. Let's look at our next papers this morning. Vanguard newspaper is next. There will have a Northerner succeeding Buhari dangerous to Nigeria's future. And this one is coming from Pa Ayo Adebanjo. Northerner succeeding Buhari dangerous to Nigeria's future. Okay, for want of time, let's move over to Daily Trust and see what the stories that are making the rounds there. Okay, Osibanjo, 2023, Osibanjo host governors declare. Okay, we have seen that. And then Kaduna attacks embassies, international organization cut off Northwest. Okay, Kaduna attack embassies, international organizations cut off Northwest. Okay, Sir Abuchi Onwumelu, Northerners succeeding Buhari dangerous to Nigeria, and it's coming from Ayo Adebanjo. Is it true?
Yes, obviously, that's an elder statement talking. We should have the balls to speak out when it matters most. We need a lot of people like Sir Adebanjo to make this kind of call. So what we're saying is that it is the time of the southern part of the country, and when we talk about the southern part of the country, you talk about southeast geopolitical zone. So we've had south side have had their fair share, southwest has equally have their fair share. So it is the turn of southeasterners to produce a president. So what Adebanjo is saying as a Afenifere chieftain, I believe him so much. We want other elders to key in and join him in this call. So we shouldn't be hiding under the room and be talking about it is our turn, it is our turn. The elders should do the needful. The political actors should equally do the needful. Let them speak out and forget about their personal interest. This is a collective responsibility.
It is a collective responsibility for people to come out and speak out and let equity and justice prevail in this country. Perhaps that's why Adebanjo has said that a Northerner must not succeed Buhari if we want a good future in Nigeria. Okay, we'll have our last papers, Guardian newspaper and the Nation newspaper. Can we really look at that before we go? Okay, let's see. Guardian newspaper. Okay, Guardian is not even here. Let's look at Daily Times newspaper 2023. Why PDP must return to power. It's coming from IU. Why PDP must come into power. And then from leadership, finally Osibanjo joins presidential raising stake to a new level. Let's just go through some of this, and the final paper here is the Nation's newspaper. Osibanjo to APC governors, I am running for president. We have seen all these stories before. Okay, finally, Sir Jerry Obodo. Okay,
why PDP should return to power in 2023. Let me tell you, like I said earlier, if you know what the current Minister of Information did before the election in 2015, you will know that the PDP are not doing anything. It was all over the place, brandishing the reasons why they should take power. This, that, a lot of, it was everywhere. Talking, and who is doing that in PDP? So and we see enormous reasons why there will be a change. Okay, look at the country is held down educationally. Nothing is happening in a higher institution. Insecurity, fuel hike, diesel hike, aeroplane hike. So this, you have a lot of things to talk about why this government should be brought down. And they're not doing enough. But, I mean the PDP as opposition party.
To add to what my brother said, in a nutshell, PDP, this is not how to be an opposition party.
I asked that question before.
Yeah. But I think a lot of them have a skeleton in their cupboard. That's why they couldn't do what you said that APC did in 2015. They involved a lot of propagandas and a lot of lies. I know, and repackaged and packaged them. The man who is in the saddle today, and we all are seeing the need for immediate change. So now PDP should just I don't really know. But what we're interested in, whatever party that will produce a Southeasterner as a candidate, who should follow that party. If the APC gives us a Southeasterner as a presidential candidate, we vote for the party. That's what we're talking about.
And we don't like credible and professional the Southeast. We have a lot of them that can deliver the country out of the
If APC gives us a presidential candidate from the Southeast, we'll join them.
You join and vote them because we need that power. We need it.
Okay, but there's this claim around that APC has done very bad in the past 8 years. Are you saying that if power gets into the hands of an Easterner that is in APC, he's going to do something different?
Yeah, he's going to do something because we are endangered species. We the Southeasterners, in terms of appointment, there is a lot of nepotism that's going on in terms of job opportunities and a lot of things. Other zones are really doing very well. They are not feeling what we're feeling down here. So when we have our person there as a president, it will look down here and face a lot of things. It's from here you must do one or two things. So we are expecting the hope that if a Southeasterner should emerge as the president of this country, a lot of things will be better for the Southeasterners. The 5 eastern states, we can even boast of having our economy vibe in place, and a lot of things we are known for will be developed. So that's what we are clamoring for. We need a president of Southeasterner extraction. That's our submission. And everybody, every sound well-meaning Nigerian should join us. Equity demands that it is turn of the Southeasterner Nigerians to produce a president.
I think it is in the same line that that this story is coming from. That is still from Vanguard Newspaper. I think we missed that story when we were there. Igbo have cried enough, give us the presidency. One of my guests have joined in the crying, but some people that have been involved in the crying before now is mentioned as Uzodimma, Nwodo, Mbazurike Amechi, Obi, Achebe, Iwanyanwu, Ozobu, a whole lot of them, okay, that have been crying that Igbos have cried enough, give us presidency. Okay, that's a story that we also missed here. Bandits kill Meiti Allah chairman and 3 members in Abuja. This story came up yesterday and some of us were asking how many times would they kill this Meiti Allah? And then I think I joined in asking the questions when I said the first one was killed in November. Are you saying that since then they've not appointed a new chairman? But that's not where we're going. What we want to find out now, if it has gotten to this, that the bandits can get into the capital city of Nigeria and carry out such acts and go scot-free, are we safe? Where is safe in Nigeria?
Who is safe? Who is safe? Recently, they went into one of the barracks in Kaduna, killed 17 soldiers and maimed a lot of them. So the system is collapsed, and some of the soldiers directed with said that they are not giving the marching order, the instruction. That's why I said
somebody came into the barracks, started fighting them, and they were waiting for a marching order to protect their lives.
17 of
I think that's something that I call self-protection in that in their setup.
That will tell you how degenerating.
Talking about that, some analysts say that it's not possible for these people, for bandits to penetrate such a settlement and deal with the soldiers this way, except we have people within that are aiding these people. Do you think something like that is possible?
I share their sentiments. Some people somewhere are actually aiding and abetting this anomalies, because it's not possible you get in there and go just scot-free. So, but what I'm saying is that when you try to break in, you will definitely be apprehended. They will overpower you. But today we are having people going there. This is not the first time. Have we forgotten when the last time it was a Southerner that was killed, a major in the Nigerian Army that was maimed, and nothing was said about it. Though we learned that a lot of things, power tussle, whatever, that played out, and he was killed. And people came in without nobody seen till date. Nothing has been said about that issue. So what we're saying is that security architecture of this country is as good as dead. So that is just it. And when you talk about the service chiefs and all that, all of them, they are equally running for their own lives, because nowhere is safe. So that's what we're saying is that we need a total turnaround. Things need to change for the better. We cannot continue to be paying lip service to a serious issue as insecurity, which has actually cut across all facets of economy. Nothing is moving. Not everything is really in total comatose. So we really need to change power, and that is why we said that I share my sentiment with those who said that if power should remain with the Northerners, that Nigeria will go in for a serious war. But now we want to look at let there be a derivation of power from other zones, and when we talk about this zone, let it be southeast, and that will help in putting a stop to this senseless killing going on in the country.
Okay.
What will assist Nigeria to still exist is ceding the presidencies to the southeast. You know, the West, you know, we are in this kind of situation we were. And because of this, Abiola, who acclaimed winner of, you know, the 1993 election, and the, you know, aftermath of that problem, the West was, you know, causing a lot of problem in Nigeria. And during the election, the you know, stakeholders came together and said, let us douse the tension by ceding these presidencies to this. So we urge them.
Are you saying that maybe we don't have enough tension here that they need to douse?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I want them to cede the presidencies to douse the tension here as they did.
Is there any tension at all?
Yes, of course, everywhere.
Are you saying that we should generate this tension? So
no, we have tensions already now.
We've been crying on marginalization for the past since 1999.
The killings here and there.
Enough tension?
The Kano you have there is because of the marginalization and all that. That is fighting for a state, another state.
So that's it.
You know.
They sit at home and all the rest of things. I think it's enough for them to consider this idea. Okay, finally,
to hear our cry.
We missed this story from the New Telegraph. No new ideas to deal with insecurity. General Ishola Williams. I just want to use that to buttress what Abuchi said here. Ishola is saying there's no new ideas to deal with insecurity in Nigeria. Let's look at the riders. He says military contractors can't deal with menace as safety, security, architecture needs new design. Okay, and then other writers say northern governors mistakes, and then another one say give peace a chance. Governor Zulum urges Boko Haram, ISWAP, and ISWAP members. The state is now asking bandits, begging them to give peace a chance. Okay, and then finally, stakeholders hold emergency meeting over kidnapping others in Abuja. These are the stories that came under this other bigger ones that say no new ideas to deal with insecurity in Nigeria. If there's no new idea to deal with insecurity in Nigeria, what are we left to do? Do we get recolonized, or do we this guy is crying out?
Maybe we'll try out the civilians this time. Maybe we'll use them.
Okay, the civilians.
Yeah, since
after there are a group of boys from Ihala area that arrested some of these criminals.
Yesterday. So, and they did very well. Maybe we should engage them. And since we are bereft of ideas, imagine at our level and independence, we are still talking about not having a solution to the security challenges bedeviling the country. So it's really, there is neither here nor there. Maybe it's time we try the likes of Abuchis of this world and the IJ of this world. Let's see if we can find a lasting solution. Unconventional
means of fighting insecurity. There are so many of them. I think that there's one we tried sometime here in Anambra State, the Bakassi boys and all those ones. Okay, if the conventional ones cannot give us what we want, what we need is security. Why don't we try those ones so that we'll make sure that we are secured in this country?
So we want to tell you that they are, like I said, they are pancaking this security matter. I mean, the federal government.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody is getting it.
Let me tell you.
It's having fun with what is going on in the country now.
When Jonathan was here, the chief of army staff then was Major General Ejika. Do you know that Ejika came with his military might and fought these guys, was killing them, all these things? The Northern started crying that he's killing his people.
So it is the issue of having
he was withdrawn.
A square peg in a round hole.
Yes,
okay?
and
when
giving him the
give,
marching order to deal with these people, not if you send him.
that's been marching orders, but what about the will?
The will power.
That's exactly what
we're saying.
Low-sidedness in appointments. When it was the time of Ejirika, he had the ball, he summoned the ball, he went in there, gave them a serious run for their money. But today, what are we having? We have people who will tell us, go about your businesses, everything will be fine. Is that the kind of services we are talking about? So we need action. Enough of this, we are on top of the situation.
Even
where you are not under. Okay, I'd like to thank you, gentlemen, for joining me this morning in the newspaper review session. Sir Jerry Obodo, a public affairs analyst, thank you for coming this morning.
It's my pleasure.
And then Sir Abuchi Omumelo, also a public affairs analyst. Thank you for coming, Abuchi.
Thank you, IJ. Good morning, Danambra, once again. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. That's the newspaper review. Do well to join us in another section where we'll discuss the topic for the day. My name is Sijama Uche. Good morning again.